Hello, world, and welcome to the For Your Best Self podcast. It's cosmetic dermatologist Dr. Sluja, and today I'm proud and pleased to host Olivia Womack, a gifted fine art and intimate photographer and entrepreneur that serves the Space Coast, Central Florida, and much beyond. I had the pleasure of getting to know Olivia during a business portrait session for our practice, and the portraits were amazing, feminine, yet strong. I'm like everybody. I usually dislike my photos, and I must say Olivia's were my favorite. I felt pretty and natural and like myself. And I think feeling empowered and beautiful and loving your photos and just enjoying portrait sessions and the memories that go hand in hand with that also go hand in hand with aesthetics and with being your best self, right? Because a lot of times we're doing aesthetics for our photographs or for what people see in us. So I want to learn more about the art of photography, intimate photography, and I'm excited to learn more, and I hope everyone is too. Welcome, Olivia.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about your journey. Did you what did you do last night?
So I actually had a intimate couples portrait session, which is so amazing. It's so just to see from the outside the connection and relationship and documenting.
And how did you or the significant other get was it a husband? How did the husband, why did the husband participate? How did we get him to?
Well, at first, yes, because I had the consultation and talk with her. I'm like, well, let's just ask him if he'll be interested. You're celebrating an anniversary. See if he'll join. Oh, no, he's not going to join, and not for him. And and that's usually the case. Most men are not interested in doing portraits. They don't like it. But it was wonderful to hear. She said, oh my gosh, he is so excited to pose with me. So I don't know what transitioned between their conversation, but he was so excited to join. And just like women, they are completely nervous as well. But again, it's just awesome to see that transition in the studio. And they're in the comfort with their significant other. So I think that holds a lot, that they can really relax because they're with them.
Yeah, with them, that helps.
Yeah.
So your true passion is this intimate photography, boudoir photography.
Yeah.
What is this kind of photography, and what got you here? Why this? What?
Gosh, why this? It started, this is year 18 professionally, and 25 years. And through the journey of, being a wedding photographer, it started with the gift for wedding day gift. So that's where it started, probably 15 years ago. And it's definitely a passion, and I see what it does for women, and it's my calling.
What do you think is the biggest thing it does for women? Or men, or any?
Yeah. Releasing that inner goddess, even I deal with a lot of executive women, and they're in a powerful position, but sometimes even within, they're not, confident with themselves and that self-love. So it's just amazing to see that transformation of empowerment. And empowerment is different for everyone that I've learned. It could mean something different, even though that is the most common word that they use to describe their experience. So it's very interesting to see, again, someone that you think from the outside is in a powerful position, but what it actually does to them in all of their relationships in their life.
I guess the position is more of a role, right?
Yeah.
So you feel powerful in a role, and then with a photography, you're not really in a role except yourself. And then you take away clothes or less, or you have less clothes, and it's even
complete
more
vulnerability. Yeah. So it's just so amazing to hear their outtake of, yes, I am perceived as a powerful woman, and what a session actually does for them to internally feel that empowered.
So let me ask you, just so that I make sure I understand, what makes photography intimate or boudoir? Or
I mean, and again, it doesn't have to have, you can have your clothes on, you know, and I think that's where I go between, you know, boudoir and intimate, just because even though you want to say the style is boudoir, but it's more, it's just complete vulnerability, and the lighting and the poses and the emotion that is portrayed in the portraits is the intimate. So you can have intimate portraits still wearing clothes. So I don't think it's not determined by what you are wearing or not wearing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Tell us about a typical portrait session. Like how does
start to finish? Yeah.
Because I think, you know, I know what to expect in a business portrait session.
Yeah.
But, you know, hair, makeup, clothes, but what goes along?
So my portrait sessions are an experience. You know, they start with the design consultation about a month prior. At this time, I truly find out who you are, what your why and your purpose of the session is. During this time, we'll discuss, you know, your vision. I guide you for the wardrobe. A lot of women have no idea where to start. So that's a big part of the design consultation, finding out your why and the wardrobe, and more importantly, how are they going to enjoy those portraits. So mapping out wall art and album options that they're planning to order.
So most people would do a combination of wall art and a photo album.
Yeah. So the wall art, you know, you are art, and having that portrait or portraits on the wall, whether it's a fine art piece that is completely, you know, what I say artistic or more of a portrait kind of style, but having that masterpiece of you on the wall daily and what that does for somebody. So that's the design consultation.
And do most people keep the wall art in bedrooms, bathrooms, open? Like what's...
Yeah, good question. So I think initially people were like, oh my gosh, there's no way I can, you know, one, put wall art on the wall. I have children. But it's very interesting because their mind is not, they don't know the outcome, right? So there's that doubt. But yeah, there's bedrooms, bathrooms, even out in the living room. Again, those fine art pieces that you would see in people's homes that people buy, but it's you.
Right.
You know?
So it's personalized.
Yeah.
Personalized.
Yeah.
Do most of your clients wear their own clothes or how?
Yeah. So I do have a client closet that is evolving and adding some pieces. I would say the most favorite right now for the ladies are body jewelry and this red robe, ruffled red robe.
Where do you get body jewelry? I saw the Rihanna pregnancy photo. Did you see that she had body jewelry? It was so
I mean, I have so many beautiful pieces, whether it's pearls and gems, and I find them online and just, you know, I've actually had, there's 2 pieces that somebody did make, a jewelry lady made those. Yeah.
Very neat.
So it's, whether it's, you know, from the client closet or I guide them into selecting pieces for them to shop. And all the women say, oh, just give me an excuse to shop. So they enjoy being able to go out and shop, but they just don't know what. So again, guiding them for that wardrobe selection.
Do you end up going towards a classical theme where it's very classic, or trends? Like in Florida, is there beach scenes, or does it, or the scenes tend to be at home or where you can't tell the background?
I mean, that is such a big variety.
So
what I've done since I have relocated to Florida is my Tropical Goddess series that women love. Yeah.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. We're all goddesses, but this is tropical. So I use, again, just tropical, whether it's the leaves, the florals, creating shadows with the palm leaves, or even textures of fabrics that are kind of tropical feeling. So that Tropical Goddess session could take place out on the beach, out on location. It could take place in their home. It could take place in the studio. So it's kind of, I just guide them to different totally different sets
Okay.
in their wardrobe. So I want them to have 3 completely different wardrobe selections.
3 different, so then they can see.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that really mixes it up, whether, again, the tropical goddess, and if they want to do a fine art implied nudes with that, they can. Or they can wear clothing with the tropical goddess. Then that would also lend options for, whether it's a piece of lingerie, and some women, that's not their thing. Perfect. So let's figure out, so again, during that consultation, I really want to find out, who you are. If you are doing it for a significant other, which truly it is the best gift to yourself, but they come in for,
right.
oh, this is for, significant other's birthday. Do they like lingerie? Some men want nothing to do with it,
Right.
So again, I just ask them the questions and guide them to what is going to be the perfect session and dream session for them.
How long is a consultation session and then a photography session?
So the design consultation takes place about a month prior to
Okay.
your session, because again, I want to plan whether we need to find locations. If we're going to go on location, we need to find that perfect location, and time to shop.
Okay.
I don't want this to
Right.
be stressful, because I know there's daily life. I want you to have some time. And then, so that's about an hour long, hour and
Okay.
a half. Depends. Could be 2 hours. But yeah, between an hour or 2. I also walk through their home with them so they can imagine where these wall art pieces would go.
Okay.
So we talk about that possibility as well. So it's basically, again, the wardrobe, location, all the details of the session, and then how they are going to enjoy the artwork.
And so I know photographs, even just a simple one, is hard work. So how long does a session?
The session, yes.
I always have so much
I know.
respect after a photography session. Like,
So
thank you for my day job. Right?
Yeah. So the session, oh my gosh. Well, I think you really have to limit me, because I could photograph all day long. But a typical session is about 2 hours.
Okay.
Which again, we would break up into the different sets.
Sections. Okay.
Whether we start at the studio and travel somewhere, or the whole session is on location, or if it's in their home. So there's a lot of, differences in someone's session, even though it's a portrait session.
And then you get the photographs. And then what?
Okay, so day of, well, here, let's talk about day of. So you are totally pampered with hair and makeup. That's about a 2-hour experience, just relaxation. You have a silk robe. If you want to enjoy some champagne and some
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, shall we have a glass of wine?
Yes. So I have...
Would that be helpful?
So yes, champagne or wine, whatever your preference shall be.
Do you limit how many to make sure it's...
People think like it's going to get crazy, but it doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah, they have the bottle to their own, but, there's 2 hours of hair and makeup.
Okay.
And, but yeah, they're relaxed and chill. Yeah,
People are
they control themselves.
Appropriately relaxed.
Yes. So 2 hours of being pampered, and then the session. So during the session, I will pose you, I'll direct you, because that's the biggest thing, what do I do in front of the camera? So this, I feel, is the guidance of someone who specializes in photographing women, and actually how to, everybody, the first 15, 20 minutes is so nervous, and it's so understandable, complete vulnerability, just here I am, but guiding them and talking them through really relaxes them. After, like I said, 15, 20 minutes, we put on music. I love music, so I always ask them, what is your genre? What speaks to you?
Yeah.
Whether it's, a calm, relaxing, meditational music, or, I love dance parties. We have
Right,
dance parties
hip-hop,
very
right.
often.
Right.
So yeah, I it's completely guided. So no, I even tell you what to think about to get those emotions that you see portrayed in my portraits. I have a lot of ladies say, there's no way I can do that or this. And I'm like, you don't need to know how. Yeah.
Because you'll help.
Yeah.
You'll
Yeah.
help. Interesting. Do you have a favorite pose or that people really gravitate towards?
Yeah. I think the most common one that ladies actually put on their wall. So it's interesting to kind of see the because I love it all, but seeing what the ladies like, right, is they're lying down and I'm kind of coming in from above their head. Mm-hmm. So it's really an angle that we never see or could see of ourselves.
Interesting.
So, and they're just, yeah.
That's interesting. So yeah, different angle than what you would normally
be able to see of yourself. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you were mentioning birthdays or anniversaries. What are what's the triggers that get people to schedule the event? Right? We could be thinking about it for a couple of years. What makes people make the phone call?
I mean, I think there's always something in life to celebrate through our different seasons of life. And I think there's always a reason and a motivation. And again, I think every stage, whether it may be, I'm saying, if you may look at it as a negative, like a divorce. I have a lot of divorcee, and even after 10, 20, 30 years, they're restarting life. Who are they? They need to reconnect with that inner goddess. So that is one of the reasons. Empowering oneself, again, for the divorce, or a birthday. Could be a birthday to them, celebrating a milestone birthday. That's very common. 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and just celebrating, celebrating that your life, and challenging the beauty stereotype, age, shape, size. I do and beyond is a section that is again for significant other's birthday, a wedding day gift, or anniversary gift. So that's a very common reason. Celebrating a milestone, something that you may have accomplished, even a birth of a child, graduating, or just a promotion, again, celebrating you. And then also just because you deserve nothing less.
Yeah,
I have it just, there is no reason, so.
All good reasons, right? I like that there is no reason the best, because I feel like sometimes that's.
Like you don't, exactly, we deserve it. We deserve it, when.
Is it ever a bucket list item?
I think so. Yeah.
Sometimes
for
I
sure.
feel like it could be.
Yeah.
Just want to try it.
Like you said, they've wanted to do it for so long, and taking that, getting that courage to make that call.
And in intimate photos, is it a combination of smiling, no smiling?
I would say mostly non-smiling. It's more to me the beautiful body.
Okay, that makes
truly. I mean, when you look through my portfolio. Sense. We may get a few that are smiley, and those are great because, again, whatever we're talking about or thinking about gets that beautiful natural smile. And those make so many beautiful stories within the album. But that's usually not one that they would do for wall art. But I just say, if you are thinking of something, bust out laughing, because those just make a genuine, beautiful,
So what if someone's conscious of their body? I don't like this, or I don't like that, or I feel what's the most common? I feel fat. When I lose 10 pounds, I'll do this.
Yeah.
I can see how it could be empowering to break out of that mindset by doing the photo. Right. But what if this concern is happening during the consultation?
And that's probably 100% of the time. Always, always, always. And my first thing is, or even like leads, or people that are interested, is celebrate the now. Our tomorrows are never promised. Truly, and try not to get emotional, because I have some clients who have now passed. Sorry.
No, it isn't emotional.
So it is.
It's intimate.
Yeah. So again, celebrate that now, but again, we're never, whatever our view, it's never going to be, I guess, perfect.
That's true.
In our eyes, even though we are, and I think, again, whether it's the mirror or the vision, there's some negative filter that we see that is stopping us from seeing that beauty that everybody can see in us. So, I do ask them during the design consultation. First, I ask them what is something, their favorite features.
Yeah, let's focus on the positive.
Right. And I said, are there any negative? And, a lot of times there are, but in my eyes, it's not a negative. Like I don't see it, So I always tell them, don't select a wardrobe outfit to hide.
Right.
I want you to, if you want that outfit, to wear it.
And let me worry about
Yeah, so it's
photo.
all about posing and lighting and directing them and the angles. And women are blown away. They're like, wow. Like, okay, I thought that was my problem area. I'm cool with it. I love it.
I like it now. Right.
Right? It's just, again, that perspective. Again, whatever it's
a transformation of thought. Interesting.
Yeah.
I want to talk about something that we all take.
Yes.
And it's a lighter subject.
Yes.
Selfies.
Yes.
Or it can be at least a lighter subject.
Yeah.
Do you have, as a photographer, do you have suggestions for selfies?
Yeah. I mean, I am not good at selfies myself, so I'll admit that. I'm good at others, but I would say the best thing is good lighting. Whether, again, if you don't have professional lighting, but being in front of a big window and just having that natural light come in, that is your best friend. Yeah. Okay. I think that is, would be the biggest is, again, finding that beautiful light.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other tips on selfies?
Let's see, gosh. Coming from one that is
what
not
if you're
a
not near
queen?
What if you're not near, or photographs? What if you're not photographs on your phone? What if you're not near a window?
If you're not near a window, I mean, you could even
do you like ring lights or
yeah,
no?
I was gonna say if you do have ring lights, but again, I don't use ring lights just in professional photography, so it's not the look that I'm
going for,
you know
that you're going for.
But I get it for a selfie or for social media. But I think just a big light somewhere.
Does the camera
angle, yeah. So always angle, to the side. Put your weight on the back leg. Again, angles rather than straight on. Shooting, from above.
Okay.
That helps. But yeah, I mean, again, I'm not a selfie queen myself, so that's one thing that I do struggle, and people think, because you are a photographer. But again, I'm good with photographing others.
What do you think?
Opposed to selfies.
Opposed to selfies?
Yeah.
So about the phone, what do you think about filters and their use? And then also when you're doing professional photography, how much time is spent in the editing, and how is that different than filters?
I mean, I'm used to the darkroom. I started in film. So, I want to say are limited, right? Like in the editing and what we have, all the filters in Photoshop now. So the final portraits that I use for the artwork, they are enhanced, as I call it, and edited to a natural level, finished. They're beautiful art pieces, and I just want it to be finished. So I soften the skin, sometimes soften, stretch marks or scars, or remove them. But I have some people that leave them in, they earn those.
Yeah, right.
So yes, there is some, but it's not overly, if you will. Like, I feel that there's a lot of people that do a lot of filters on social media, but yeah, I think a skin smoothing, softening is, that's a great one. To a level, again,
right.
Not at 100%.
So you still look like yourself.
Yeah. just softening, because I think lighting, or I know lighting, picks up all of the details of your skin, all those shadows, and really pick up all the details. So I think the skin softening would be one that
that you think is the most important. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I know you talk a lot about lighting. Do you have a signature photograph style? Has that changed over time? Have you changed how you're doing photos to more?
I mean, I
of a certain
really
style?
love the signature one light. I have, I think, made that signature style. I mean, it's not a style that I've created, but again, that Hollywood light, Rembrandt light. So that is just kind of the terms. But I again use the one light in different positions that give you different lighting styles and effects.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, just within the one light. But I like to just again explore. So even when I'm on location, you have so many elements of the unknown or things that could happen. So it's great for me to be able to still create without a formula. Like a lot of portrait photographers, this is the formula, the lighting, the light stays here.
Yeah, we're going to do this 6 poses. Right.
So I constantly creating within the moment.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. Do you do collaborations? I know you're talking about photography as art and fine art. Do you collaborate with artists or with other photographers?
I do. I have 2 amazing collaborations that I am currently offering, whether it's to the client or a commission piece that someone shall see, or selling the originals. So to art collectors or people interested in that. So the first one is Elizabeth Hunter. She is a phenomenal painter, and this is a new venture for this year with her, and the collaboration is just truly 50-50. We consult on, the outcome of the art. What are we envisioning? Are we going to be adding I can't even explain it, textures and layers of, whether it's crystals that are crushed up.
On top of the photograph, so 3-dimensional.
Totally 3-dimensional. Yeah, it is. I mean, it is so dimensional and so layered. And that could go completely abstract, or it could be, if you want to say enhanced, maybe it's the tropical goddess, for instance, and she's enhancing the location that she's in, so more realistic style painted with.
And how would we see examples of
this is
it's hard to visualize.
Totally. And it's kind of, I'm learning the explanation of it, because again, it's magical. It truly is. But we will be having our first exhibition in May 19th. So we'll keep you updated on all of those details, but that's going to be our first launch where people can actually see the pieces. Yeah. So again, it is an experience.
And these are pieces of your photos of your clients, or artwork of your clients, or of?
It is. So it is my photography. With, again, so it could be something that a client commissions. That I explain, that like they're coming in already for a session, right? So I'm explaining, this is another option, right? Or again, starting to just sell originals. That her and I create, that others can buy.
Interesting. You mentioned another collaboration.
Yeah, so the other awesome one is with Derek Gores. So this is, and I love that these artists are so different, and it just enhances, and just a whole nother art piece between the original photography, painted, and then Derek does some phenomenal collage. And that is just so cool, again, to see So he'll take a portrait of mine as inspiration. Again, it's so hard to explain. It's a visual thing, and tear up the pieces of something maybe that's important to them, or a journey, like or their favorite location or recipes, but also incorporate within those the other portraits from their session that make up this overall finished portrait. Again, and so many layers, and you just look at it and step back and come close, and again, the detail, even like in the eye or a lip, you see it far back, but when you come closer, you're like, wow, that is made up by all these little pieces, or even a piece of another portrait that I took. So it's phenomenal. Yeah. And I just love to be able to collaborate and offer this additional, art for people to enjoy.
How do people see more of your work or see examples?
Yeah. Instagram and Facebook, Olivia Womack Photography.
Okay.
Yeah. Is a good space there to see, things kind of current, and constantly sharing all of my amazing clients and their artwork. And yes, these clients have released their portraits for me to share, and they're happy to share. They want to share.
Yeah, I would think it's like a relief and joy after they're done. Both.
Yeah. I was going to say, I hear a lot of the times that they are so nervous for the session itself, which again is so common and so understandable, but they're so nervous to see the portraits. Even more so, like after their session. So they've conquered that, and now they're like, oh, but truly they are pleasantly surprised. They love so many more than what they expected. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Any client surprises or recent stories that stand out?
Yeah. So a recent one I actually flew to Arizona for. She had contacted me her husband loves her aging body and wanted to document it with fine art nudes. And even though we were doing fine art nudes, we did a lot of different styles of lighting and posing. And I incorporated, again, being in Arizona, she had some gorgeous custom turquoise jewelry. So again, statement jewelry. So documenting that was just a magical moment, because I actually invited him in to the session, and she's like, no, I want him to be surprised. I go, just trust me. It's so amazing to see from the outside the awe that when they see the significant other, and to be a part of the session, they will be surprised because they don't see what I'm seeing through the lens, So he came in and joined, and it was just magic. It was such an amazing day. The energy was phenomenal. So I had that one. Again, every client just holds such a special part in my heart, and every session is so special to me, even though it may be for the same reason. But another recent one was... she came in, she told me she has body dysmorphia. She's always had it. She is actually in a very powerful position in work-wise, and that's what she's known for. So being able to conquer that, that was happy tears of joy. Just, during the session, seeing the portraits, when she saw them, when she picked up and delivered her artwork.
So did she do it to help with her body dysmorphia, or did something push her and then her body dysmorphia was improved?
I don't know if she came specifically for the body dysmorphia. I'm trying to think what was her original reasoning. But that
and body dysmorphia to you is the client's not seeing themselves.
And she said she's had that since she was a child.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe, if that's why she came, but it was such an amazing release for her to say, like, wow, I'm going to take a look at myself in the mirror, where she never looked at herself in the mirror before. So just, again, helping people.
Yeah, I wonder if you see the photographs outside of yourself, it helps you see yourself in a different perspective, so that when you go back to the mirror,
right,
you're gentler with yourself.
Yeah, she actually, again, said she loves the way she looks, and she will look at herself in the mirror, which, again, never looking at yourself in the mirror, I mean, that's huge. And now that she is, I mean, it was definitely a transformation for her.
How do people reach you if they want to schedule a session?
Yeah.
Do you have a studio?
I do. I have a studio in Merritt Island, so I just have a brand new studio there that I opened late November of 2021. They can most likely reach out, would be easiest, phone, email.
Okay.
That is listed on the website and on social media.
Do you have any parting thoughts or tips or anything that you would like to talk about that maybe I didn't?
That just giving the opportunity to experience the magic and tapping in to your inner goddess, that courage, self-confidence, self-love, and feeling beautiful is something that I wish for everyone. Because when you love yourself, truly your life's journey is easier. Whether it's the relationships, all the relationships, they flourish. Right. I have a lot of calls that I get from husbands just saying simply thank you.
Oh, wow.
Again, that confidence. And so, being able to give and give.
That's a big gift.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Well, this was emotional and super useful information, and also lots to think about.
Yeah.
As well as,
it's more than just a portrait session. It is truly a life-altering experience that people don't think.
I can see that.
It would be,
I can see that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna have to call. It's on my on my bucket list.
Please, I would be so honored. So honored.
Thank you, Olivia,
Thank
for
you.
sharing your wisdom.
Thank you for having
and spending
me.
time with us. Thank you, audience, for listening. And until our next podcast, until next time, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.